Same.
There we go. Well, welcome to my life. Alright, okay. So, hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Malo's Music Podcast with me, Adam. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for returning once again. First of all, I just want to say welcome back to the podcast to everyone who is new here. It has been some time since we did ever air an episode. We apologise for that. We will be back regularly as soon as possible, I hope. But for now, we're taking things day by day. On a nicer note, I would like to thank everyone personally who has helped me push through the podcast without Zach, whilst he takes a leave of absence. I'm not sure when or if he will return, but if you are watching, buddy, I hope you're okay and I hope you're taking care of yourself. Anyway, let's get right to it. So over the course of the past few months, we have been trying to get a hold of some more guests. And, of course, I had to ask the wonderful, the amazing Forever Rome to return once again. And in this time, it's not just you anymore. We have Alex, and we have the newest member of the group, Ryan. Hello, welcome guys. How you doing? Y'all doing good? How you feeling? Tell me. Talk to me.
We're feeling the feelings.
Feeling the feelings.
Feeling the feelings.
I think that's the best way to describe it.
It's been a long couple of weeks, so we're excited to just be able to chill and just hang out and not have to think about every little thing.
And then once me and Lynn are done with college apps,
Woo-hoo!
it's time for EP number 2!
Yay! You can't go wrong with that. But yeah, so obviously, as spoken about before, we are going to be talking about Towers. You guys released that, back in August now?
Yes. August 20th.
August 20th.
Getting close to a month. That's,
Yeah, almost a month.
That's so weird to think about. I feel like it was still just like a week ago.
That's insane.
Right.
It's like, I've been listening to the record over the past few weeks quite a bit leading up to this. And also I gave it another listen today. And I think, as I've said to you, JT, before in part of the conversations that we've had, it's definitely your best work yet, I'd say.
Oh yeah, by far.
Like, with the addition of Line and everyone just coming together and making this record, it's so much more of this is a statement of, hey, this is Forever We Roam, this is who we are, and that's it.
I think Towers is definitely our most us record to date. I mean, with Lynn joining on, you can hear the bass all over the album. Her bass skills are just unreal. And this is Sailor's first album that was written and completely produced while she was officially in the band. So in a way, this is kind of our homecoming record. This is all of us together putting in the work to make this thing happen. And I think that it really shows through in the result. It just sounds very us. And this is the music that we want to be doing.
This was the first album that was written for my voice.
Mm-hmm.
Self-titled was not written with the intention of me singing it.
Yeah.
Even though self-titled is still great, it's definitely not us.
Yeah.
So, Towers.
Towers is your baby, pretty much. It's like, as I said before, it's
Blood, sweat, and tears went into that album. Lots of tears.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I bet because you had to really you had to put something out before Blue Ridge, which we'll get into later on. And I guess because of that, Towers was really that thing of where you thought, okay, Towers is going to be our big thing that we're going to push out during Blue Ridge, and obviously prior to that, and releasing the singles and Are You Sure and Lifeguard. How was the creative process behind picking out those two songs specifically from the entire album in order to promote the album? Sorry.
So, Lifeguard was not supposed to be a single.
Oh yeah.
It was not.
I think it was supposed to be The Good Life.
It was The Good Life and Are You Sure were going to be the leading singles off the album. But we played a show, when was it? In June? It was our first show back with this lineup, with the new music. and Lifeguard had such a great response, which
Everybody went crazy.
yeah,
for
we
Lifeguard.
all were kind of like, yeah, Lifeguard's good, it's fun to play, but it wasn't until people were like, oh my god, that Lifeguard song, that song's great, you guys need it, I want that song, and then like I think it was the next night or something, I was like, hey guys, what if we made a little bit of a change in the plan and put Lifeguard out first?
We kind of just all said yeah.
Yeah, Lifeguard was not originally supposed to be a single at all, and it was really the response from that one show, like Sailor said. Like, are you sure? We were thinking everyone would come away thinking, are you sure? That's a really cool song. It's really catchy. And then everyone we talked to afterwards was like, yo, Lifeguard is crazy. We didn't expect that after self-titled.
And Are You Sure now is like probably the least well.
That was also
it's actually up
It's
there
getting
just because it was a single. But I think that if we didn't release Are You Sure as a single and we released it all together, Are You Sure would be pretty close to the bottom.
Which is funny because
It's so we were convinced. Are You Sure was like, we were always like, yes, Are You Sure is the song that everybody's gonna be talking about. It's gonna be everybody's favorite song.
Lifeguard is our best performing song to date. It is like it hit 2,000 streams in a month.
That's nice.
Which is a lot for us.
Yeah,
it's the
like,
fastest song to hit 2,000 streams by a ton. Nerve didn't hit. People, I think a lot of people just assume that Nerve was an immediate success for us, but Nerve didn't hit 2,000 streams until I think 2 years after it was released. Like, it took a long time, and Control Freak still isn't there, I don't think.
No, Control Freak just hit 3.
Oh, it just hit 3?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know what I'm talking about then.
But yeah, it's surprising just like how everybody's like, I don't know, we had these high expectations like, oh, people are gonna like this song and this one, but then everybody ended up liking Lifeguard, Villain song too. A lot of people like
that's surprising.
That was very surprising to me. A lot of people were just like, whenever I asked their favorite songs, they'd be like, oh, I really like Lifeguard, I really like Villain song, and a lot of people liked Warmonger, which was really cool.
Baby's first lead vocal.
Well then. Alright, so that's it. There's a question that just came up on the top of my head. Woohoo, let's go me. Right. I'm weird. Anyway, let's get on to the questions that I've written down. Line. Welcome to Forever Room again.
Real quick, it's actually Lynn.
Lynn. I am so sorry. I am so sorry.
No. I promise you, it's me. Everybody's but hold on. Little fun fact. This guy right here, I've known him for months before I joined the band, and it wasn't until right before I joined the band that he got my name right, so don't worry.
In my defense,
No.
We met online. I did not hear her name pronounced until she had already joined the band.
Doesn't matter.
But she does have an alter ego.
No, we don't talk about that.
Wait, okay.
We don't go into detail about Line, but Line, if you ever see Line, be afraid. Because I'm afraid whenever that person comes out. I don't know who that is.
Alright, bestie, relax.
Is it like a...
Guys, I swear I'm a good person. I'm a nice person.
You threaten to fight so many people in the industry.
Is it like an alter ego version of Lynn then?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
It's okay. We all have alter egos within the band.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, you had a question.
Yeah.
I'm having this. It's not, we're not even like halfway in. It's only been 8 minutes and we already have fucking. Alright. Okay. Lynn. As the newest as the newest addition to the group, what has it been like working with JT, Alex, and Sailor?
Oh, it's been great. I mean,
It better be.
holding her hostage, JT.
Yeah, it's been great, guys. It's been great. No, it's been great. I mean, they're awesome people. And...
Aww.
Really?
Okay, now I want to take it back. Okay, no. I mean, they're amazing. I loved working with them. I loved making this with them.
You're speaking in past tense, which makes me think that you're like about to tell us something.
Lynn's quitting right now.
She's quit so many times.
I am trying to be very sentimental and kind. And
We can't do that here.
Okay,
We're not. We have such a hard time having serious conversations with each other.
Okay, you're right.
Welcome to the
I hated
podcast
working
then.
with them. Album sucked. I think that covers everything.
Yeah.
Covered all the bases.
Cool. Nice podcast. Good talking to you. Everything sucks. We're great.
Yeah, I hate these people.
Yeah, this is actually our official announcement of disbandment. Power was the last, and
Yeah,
pretty
it was
sure-
nice seeing you guys.
I'm pretty sure we've said that for every single podcast that we've ever done.
yeah.
you did
I'm
it.
sure every
yeah,
single
he did-
podcast we've ever done, we've tried to say that we're quitting.
Yeah, JT did that last time. I remember.
Did I?
Yes, it was either you or Aiden, which is ironic. If it was Aiden, it is ironic.
That is fun.
We don't talk
No
about that.
shade here. No shade.
Nah,
Lucy.
all the love.
All for love. All love.
All love. Yeah.
All love for Aiden.
Alright, okay.
Okay.
So I asked JT and Alex this last time, so I'll ask Sailor and Lynn this now. What got you into music, and why did you want to pursue this as a career?
I'll let you go first because I don't really have like a story.
I got a lot. So just go
That's true.
first.
She's got a lot to say. Well, I was kind of always the kid that like my parents tried putting me in sports, and the one story my mom always tells is when she put me in soccer during one of my games, I sat in the grass and picked flowers. So clearly they knew sports weren't the thing for me, so they were like, let's try music. Music came really naturally to me. More performing came really naturally to me more than the actual like music part of it. And I've always been super comfortable on stage, and when I was little, I mean, when you're little, the only really exposure that you have to music like is like pop stars, I guess, as a young girl. Like you don't really think of anything else other than like big pop stars and like Beyonce and whoever was popular in 2005. Like
So what you're saying is you were keeping an eye out for Selena?
she here. It's the wrong Selena, buddy. We don't disrespect. Anyways.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
Yeah, that just clicked in my head.
I always wanted to be like a pop star, I guess, as a kid. That was kind of like, I always grew up like singing to myself. Like, I was the kid who walked around the store singing to myself, thinking that an agent was gonna spot me. Like, that was me. Apparently,
Of
that's
course
like
you did.
a shared experience that a lot of young girls had. I didn't realize that. But yeah, and then as I got older, I discovered like Linkin Park and Breaking Benjamin through my parents.
Don't you still do that though? Wander around stores hoping an agent will pick you up?
Oh yeah, I'm out there like doing the Warmonger screams like in the middle
Yeah.
of Target. Yeah,
Mm.
that's
Like,
definitely going on.
And
Yeah, I
then
know,
some just
literally.
lady just walked past you, just like, the fuck is she doing? That
No,
just keeps
literally.
on
Sailor's like-
going.
Sailor's like in the fruit aisle picking out some apples and just doing gutturals while she's like, oh, this is a nice looking apple.
You guys know that song Pizza by Attila? Where they just like that's how I order my food. Is that like that right there? But I guess the real like story for me of like getting into this specific scene, especially like our specific local scene, was when I was 15. Yeah, I was 15. I really wanted to start a band. I wanted to be a singer. And I have a friend who's pretty well known in the music industry around here. My friend Matt introduced me to a guy whose name is Carl Gunther. He puts together like all of like the kiddie bands and the high school bands. Carl.
I think we talked about Carl last time.
I think you did.
We definitely did.
So Carl paired me with my longtime friend Brandon Larue, who actually guitar teched for us at Blue Ridge, and he's really, really good friend of ours. And
We love you, Brendan.
we love Brandon. Anyways, it's just been years of me and Brandon playing together, and then just kind of as time has gone on, like I ended up having the opportunity to join this band, and Brandon like supported me through that and has been there. I don't know, I'm going on a tangent about Brandon. I hope he's not watching this. I don't like when he sees me being nice to him.
That's fair.
I will find his
Brandon,
personal
did you
Twitter.
see that again? Brandon has seen me cry once, and I regret that.
Brandon definitely like has a meme collection of you crying.
No, not really. I don't really talk about my feelings with Brandon. He doesn't see the pictures of me crying. No, Brandon.
I talk about my feelings with Brandon pretty often.
Yeah, Brandon only ever saw me cry once, and that was just because I was going through something. And, like, I needed to go somewhere, but whatever. Doesn't matter. That's not important. We're talking about my music awakening. But we're musicians. We're dramatic. We don't know how to talk to people.
It's okay. We can write our feelings. Make
But
a
yeah,
song.
no,
write out their album.
Yeah, but basically, like, I was in a band with Brandon for a little while, and we just kind of tried things, and they just didn't work out, and then eventually something stuck with Forever We Roam, and here we are. And I wouldn't probably be in this band without Brandon, actually, just because he was my support system through a lot of it, and always was very supportive, and I've always supported him with whatever he ends up doing. So, ew.
Brings a tear to my eye.
No. I really hope Brandon doesn't see this.
I'm
gonna get a text from Brandon later.
I'll make him see it.
If he sees this, he's gonna be like, "Oh," and I'm gonna be like, "Shut up."
Well, I mean, I'll be clipping every question, so this will be interesting.
Well, Adam, you know Brandon too. He's in Discord. This is like our friend Brandon in Discord.
Wait,
so it's like...
Wait, which Brandon is it? Because
It's the Brandon it's not the Brandon that joined yesterday. It's the Brandon that has the what is his profile? It's like a skull something
I'll
or other.
find it. Hold on.
He's pretty active.
Yeah, he chats quite a bit. Brandon B.
No, it's not
That's
Brandon B. Brandon
not
B
Brandon
joined.
B?
No, Brandon B joined.
Sorry,
yesterday.
I'm stupid. It's not Brandon B. Sorry. His profile picture is
let's go.
Wait, really? It's Brandon Larue, the homie. Yeah, he's got like a weird skull picture. He's been in there for a while. I hope he doesn't see this.
The Brandon B that joined
Sorry,
yesterday.
I know who Brandon B is.
He went in the general image chat and he sent that picture of us with him, and he said just had to flex real fast.
Yeah. No,
That
I
was
remember.
so cool.
I remember meeting him. Yeah, he was cool. Yeah. Brandon, if you hear this, I didn't mean it.
Yikes.
We did get a little sentimental at Blue Ridge, though. We'll get into that later. But Brandon and I did have like a little moment at Blue Ridge where it was like, yeah, it was very off to the side. It was very short.
I miss all the nice moments.
We don't have very many nice moments. Anyways, enough about Brandon LaRue. Let's talk about Lynn.
Alright, then.
Okay.
You have the floor.
Okay, well, I started... This is gonna be so funny to people who don't know anything about me, but,
I don't know anything about you. I still don't know anything about you. Just kidding. I know a lot about you.
Aren't you guys married?
I know a little bit too much about you.
Yeah, you do.
Anyways.
I started playing, violin at maybe, like, 4 years old. I don't know, my parents just, like, gave me this violin and they gave me lessons. I don't even remember my first lesson. That's how long ago it was. I just remember, like, I've always played it, you know? It's weird. But yeah, I've just been playing for years, and that's kind of just, like, how I got started with just, like, getting into music, I guess, or just, like, playing musical instruments or whatever. But yeah, kind of like what Sailor said, I grew up with, like, pop stars or whatever. So I didn't know a thing about metalcore. I didn't know a thing about it until I joined the band. It's weird. But yeah,
When you first joined the band, we had that one Discord call where it was me, you, and Ryan, and we were just showing you all the essential metalcore bands.
Yeah.
And so I was going through and I was like, okay, this song is by Architects, and I really love this song, but it's okay if you don't like it. And then here's a Spirit Box song. I just like went through.
He sat me down on Discord call and was just like, okay, so these are all these super cool bands and these are these super cool songs. And one time he was like, oh, but there's like, there's a little bit of like those harsh vocals. Like, are you sure you can handle that? Like, he was treating me like a baby.
I mean, a lot of people really hate that, so I just wanted to make sure that you were good with it.
I would be in this band if I wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's about right.
But yeah, funny story of how I joined this band and how I even got into any of just like this.
Yeah.
Lynn's been part of Forever We Roam before she was a part of Forever We Roam.
Mm-hmm.
So JT I used to have this music account. I say used to, like I still don't have the login. I just don't care to post on it anymore.
That's fair.
Mood.
I used to have this music account, and JT magically found it. Like I don't know how.
It was on my Discover page on Instagram.
His Discover page on Instagram. There we go. And he DM'd me, and he was just like, "Hey, do you play bass?" Mind you, when he sent me that DM, I was a classical musician that only played violin, right? You know, like I play Mozart, I play Bach, I play, you know, like Beethoven, stuff like that.
The classic stuff that you would find on vinyl records and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex!
Is that an Alex?
Alex!
You guys,
I heard you scurrying up the stairs.
Oh my god.
yeah, I was scurrying up the stairs.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have another attorney
Yeah,
ladies and
to the
gentlemen. Oh,
podcast.
Here,
Can we
here,
round of
here.
applause, please, for Alex?
okay.
We went on a whole tangent about
Hey, dude, how's it going?
He doesn't
Anyways.
deserve any attention.
Lynn's telling her musical awakening story.
And you interrupted.
Okay.
And this is why these guys are my favorite people to interview. Anyway.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
Please don't leave. I can't do this on my own.
Just for you. I'll have this for you. Okay. What was I even saying anymore?
You're saying that you were
But you're talking about JT
able to
DMing
to
Right,
play.
JT.
Yeah.
So JT DM'd me and he was just like, "Hey, do you play bass?" And I was so confused. I was like, no. I'm pretty sure I even listed every instrument I played, and he still DM'd me and was like, "Do you play bass?"
Funny.
Don't get this kid. But I said no, and he was just like, oh, "Okay." And then we talked, and then I remember you brought up liking sushi, and like in my head I was like, "Okay, be my best friend." So
It doesn't take much to
Naturally.
be Lynn's best friend.
Yeah,
That's true.
low standards.
You look her in the eyes the right way, and she's like, "Oh my god, we're besties."
Wow.
I feel so attacked right now.
You can't deny it. You're just friends with
Okay,
everybody.
but the friends that the friends
Okay,
that I
the
know
friends
of yours are the coolest people though. So I think Lynn actually has like the best friend selection standards out of all of us.
That's what I'm saying.
That's true.
Listen, also, it's like, you know, it doesn't help that you guys like bring these cool friends to music video shoots that are very easy to befriend. That's not the point. But yeah, JT, I remember he brought up liking sushi. I was like, okay, I want to be this guy's friend. And so
friend.
we were just friends, like that, I guess. And later down the line, I remember he was like, "We need another bassist." I'm once again asking
if you would like to play bass.
I remember you posted a meme like that in your
Yeah.
story.
JT was
No,
down
I
bad.
genuinely made the Bernie Sanders memes where he goes, "I'm once again asking," and then you fill it in.
Oh yeah.
I made one of those. It was nobody.
Oh my fucking
JT.
god.
I'm once again asking if you play bass and want to join our band.
Yeah, I remember I saw that and I laughed because I was just like, oh my god, they're desperate.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. But
We're desperate.
yeah, I was just like,
We're still desperate for a lot of things.
For a bass player, no.
Oh wow.
Whoa, don't say that. Line's coming out.
Oh
Alex, you've already just got here, but you better stop running, boy.
I mess up a lot. It's
We were
okay.
just telling Adam about Line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, by the time JT asked, was like, we need another bass player. You know, I was kind of interested in playing bass because when JT mentioned, you know, hey, do you play bass? It kind of just
He
like
planted that.
he planted this. It's like you know when you you know in those cartoons when like there's a light bulb over your head, like thing, that. Yeah. I
That's
was just like, hey, why
post.
not? And I guess JT asking for another bass player was kind of like I had a reason to actually like, you know, blow a bunch of money on an instrument and an amp and stuff, and I was just like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. And he let me borrow his bass because I didn't have my own, and I learned the song, and then
She
I gave
learned
it back
this.
to him.
Not only did she learn the song, she learned the hardest song he sent her, and two, and
Yeah.
sent it back to us like the next day or
Yep.
something.
Yeah.
I remember I was at
Christ.
work. I used to work at a drive-in movie, so we would finish at like, I mean, we would finish packing up these movies at like midnight, 1 a.m. And I remember getting off work, checking my phone, and going, "What? Lynn Russell shared a document with me? What is this?" Open it up, and it was her audition video. And I sat in the car, watched the thing till the end, and I was like, "What?" I sent it to the rest of the band. I was like, "Guys, watch this." They listened to it, and they were like, "What?" And at that point, it was a unanimous decision. Like, yeah, of course she's in. And then we just wanted to like meet her first to make sure that she was cool. Which, like, I mean, you're fine. You're fine. Like, you're in.
Don't talk to me.
No,
Yeah,
it
this
was-
is just Lynn, Zola, and Alex now.
Damn.
We after she joined the band and everything, and we were official. I think you were the first to leave because I was whatever happened, we were alone for a little bit at the party, and I remember we were like after we told Lynn that she was in and she left, we were all just like, why does the band already feel empty without her here?
Aww.
Okay, yeah, she's definitely like the right basis.
Yeah, we never really felt that with anybody else we auditioned. So
Yeah.
Alright, stop being nice. It's weird.
I told you once again, we're terrible at being nice to each other. Fuck you, Brandon Larue.
Gotta hit the no switch. Cut that out.
I don't have a no switch. That's just the problem. Nothing is edited. Literally, everything is recorded, but nothing is edited afterwards, unless I absolutely need to.
Have you heard the lyrics of "Let's Do Crime," JT?
Yeah,
That's fair.
yeah.
Oh my
But yeah, that's how I came to join the band. And honestly, when I joined the band, I wasn't even like, I didn't even really know what kind of music it was. Like, I won't lie, they were kind of vague about it. I kind of thought it was like self-titled.
We didn't really know what kind of music it was either, to be fair.
Yeah, we were still
Yeah.
trying to figure things out.
Yeah, so when I joined the band, I still really didn't know a thing about metalcore, and I again had to have JT be like, okay, this and this band, they're a thing. This song's good. This song bad.
And thank God you liked it all. Like, if you just didn't like heavy music, what would we do? Like, you just
Oh,
very
it's
so
so
happened to like get
sad.
into it immediately, which is like impressive in my eyes because it took me years to develop my taste for heavy music, and you were like, yeah,
This is
instant.
cool.
You were like actually the perfect person for the band.
I know.
She is. Oh my god, I was talking to Casey from Southbound Beretta. This is a tangent. I was talking to Casey from Southbound Beretta about Blue Ridge and some stuff. And he was like, yeah, I mean, you got a cool look. And I was like, I know. And he was like, and you're modest about it too. And I was like, homeboy, I've been working on my look for years. I'm proud of it. I gotta just enjoy it until I fuck it up. Sorry. I need to stop. I have the mouth of a sailor. Yeah, the joke.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We have fun around here.
Yeah, that's the kind of the story of how I joined the band, and it's been fun, minus the times that
I'm never mean to you.
no, you're not, but they are.
Lynn and I are in love. I don't know if you've noticed, Adam. I don't know if anyone on Instagram that follows us has noticed. But
Yeah, if you couldn't tell by the amount of times.
the amount of times we posted heart pictures of each other. Oh,
It's
speaking of heart
adorable.
pictures, we're going back onto Brandon Larue for a second.
I feel like I should get Brandon on.
Yeah.
I feel like I should have Brandon on.
You should get Brandon on here, honestly.
For real.
When we got photos back from Blue Ridge, he took one of the photos of Alex, drew a heart on it, and made it his lock screen.
I was just like, dude, you like men. Just admit it. Jesus Christ.
He's like basically
2021. It is okay
If I can
to
find
not
that.
be straight.
he's like basically married to a woman, so it's like really funny.
Exactly.
If I
Oh,
can
sorry.
find that, I will put that in the post.
I'll
Jesus
send it
Christ.
to you. I
Oh
will
my
literally
god,
send it to
please
you.
do. Please do.
Alex is gonna be the next Ryan Reynolds.
Oh.
I sure hope
That-
so.
I'm quoting
That's
you on
what
that. I'm
we'll
quoting
see.
you on that.
I found it, Adam. I'll send it to you.
Thank you very much.
But yeah, being in this band has just been absolute. Like, it's just been a blast. It's just made me a better person,
Aw.
and it's cool working with these people.
Ew.
I'm all happy.
The one trivia.
I
Okay.
sent it to you. Adam.
Then it's okay.
Thank you. Alright. Okay. So, next
Let's get back to the
question.
questions.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a long way to go. So this is kind of more specifically a question for JT and Zayla, because I know you guys did screams on the record. You guys do an amazing job of screaming in this record across multiple different songs. What's the process like getting ready to do those screams, and how much did that like how much of an effect did that have on you, like putting those screams out?
It was so scary.
There were probably 5 or 6 different recording sessions where like Sailor would come in and I would just go, "Hey, can we do harsh vocals today?" And she'd be like, "Nope, not ready. Not gonna do it. Can't make me. Ain't gonna happen."
I would literally go home whenever he asked me about
Yeah,
that.
she would. She would get up and she would leave.
I'd be like, okay, it's time for me to go home now. But here's the thing. The day we did officially do the harsh vocals, I annoyed the crap out of him.
Yeah,
I
you do that anyway, though.
I had a lot of nervous energy about it, and I kept making this horrible sound on purpose, and it was driving him crazy. Because I was like, this is how it's going to sound on the album. Yeah, I kept doing stuff like that, like the entire recording session. I kept going like, and he was like, stop it. And I was like, nope. There wasn't really like a process. We were just kind of like, we're doing it, okay?
I have a process.
I
You
don't
didn't
have
have a process.
I don't have a process. I just kind of go for it. It's not a great system. That's how I live life most of the time. Is I just kind of wing it.
Yeah.
That's how
My process for recording the harsh vocals, I mean it's the same as when I do the clean vocals. I do pretty extensive vocal warm-ups. I don't do dairy for like the week before I plan on singing anything, so I try not to do a lot of dairy anyway, but like if we're playing a show or recording, I won't do dairy for a week beforehand because it just like makes me super congested.
That's too much.
But
That's
I mean, I just had.
My family's from Vermont, dude.
Question: if you didn't have dairy, what did you have for breakfast? If you didn't have dairy for breakfast, like about a week, what did you have?
Usually, I do like Eggo waffles and peanut butter, or vegetarian sausage sandwiches with no cheese. I am vegetarian. Most of our fans don't know that, but I am vegetarian.
Okay, I think I knew that from like I think you mentioned it in a post the other week or something. You mentioned that recently. I can't remember when, but you definitely mentioned.
Homeboy can't go a week without mentioning that he's a vegetarian.
Do I say that often?
No.
Oh.
I didn't know he was a vegetarian until like almost a year into me being in the band. I just never noticed.
Yeah, it's not something I bring up very often.
It was just like there was one day where he mentioned being a vegetarian, and I was just like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "When did you start doing that?" And he was like, 10 years ago. And I was like, "Oh."
It's been 13 years now.
I could never. I liked chicken too much.
I don't think I count as a vegetarian.
It's
It's just that I would like meat generally is just not my go-to thing.
Man,
to have.
I am a waitress.
But I'll still have it
if it's offered to you, you'll have it.
Yeah, I'll have it. So I don't think I count as a vegetarian.
I'm a waitress at a steakhouse. I don't really have an option.
I don't think you really have a choice with that job, do you?
Nope.
I know I was just saying about how I try not to eat dairy as much as possible, but man, the mac and cheese at Outback Steakhouse. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
What about you, Alex? Are you like are you a vegetarian? Are you kind of a carnivarian?
No, I would not.
No, he's nothing. He is nothing. He is a pure vampire.
I actually really enjoy my life. So yeah, no, I'm not a vegetarian or anything.
I like Taco Bell.
I like Taco Bell.
I don't think I've ever had Taco Bell.
Okay. Hear me out, right? It's a band vlog. Take Lynn to Taco Bell for the first time. Content.
So we have 2 members of the band who have never had Taco Bell, and that's like Okay, at least you haven't lived in America for a little bit. You've been here the whole time. What the heck?
What is there to get for me there other than
They
like,
have a whole
quesadilla?
vegetarian menu.
But you guys have vegetarian
salad
menus?
and bread.
No, it's not. They have like burritos and quesadillas and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, but that's lame.
It's not
That's
lame.
the whole menu.
It's so good.
Alex and I are very passionate
We're
about
very
Taco
passionate about
Bell.
Taco Bell. I've DoorDash Taco Bell like numerous times, and every time it's a religious experience.
I just love like the horrible service at Taco Bell.
I really love just getting like spit in my face, honestly.
We should probably stop talking because we want to Taco Bell sponsorship one day. I'm kidding, Taco Bell. I love you.
I will clip that entire segment I know at Taco Bell and I will at you guys at the same time. And I'll send you a tweet.
You have to include this though. I will say, Taco Bell has the coolest ad I have ever seen for a food chain ever, and that was their
The nacho fries.
I think it was I don't know. It was some kind of special fries. I'm pretty sure it was
Halloween
nacho fries.
nacho fries.
It was the
Yes!
They worked with I think it was I can't remember where it was, but it was a really cool animation studio. They did like an anime trailer style thing for their fries. It was so cool. We did a case study on it in my 2D animation class,
goodness.
and we like inspected the ad.
God,
So
nacho
nice.
fries are so good.
They're too good. There's no reason for
Those
them
are
to be as good as they
evil.
are.
I might have to try those.
We have to stop talking about Taco Bell.
I feel like
Yeah,
that's
I like
gonna
it.
be the. I
That's
feel
what
like that's gonna
podcast
be
is
the
about.
meal after the podcast. It's just like
Everything's
George Alex is gonna be George Ash like.
Honestly, I
He probably
thought
is
about
on
it.
his phone right now. He's just like over there, just like casually. I'm off camera, but I'm just casually ordering Taco Bell.
Alex and I are gonna get Taco Bell.
We're gonna Sorry.
I love it.
You guys, I'm gonna go get sushi after this.
Sushi. We actually have sushi at like our college, like at like the various like markets and stuff, and it's actually pretty decent. So I have sushi like all the time.
I can't eat fish.
I can't eat fish.
I'm like the opposite of a pescatarian. I eat all meat except for fish.
There's probably something. That's probably
It's
thing
probably
for
a thing.
Yeah,
I think it's just being stupid. Let's talk about the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't come at me for this.
Where the fuck goes? No.
Oh, we got the paddle. Well, not in that, the neck of the guitar. Anyway, so obviously we just spoke about the screams, but aside from the screams, Sailor, as the lead vocalist, what was your most challenging part for the entire? What was the most challenging thing for you just going through this record?
The Good Life. The Good Life is the only song that I physically couldn't do one day. I came in to record one day, and that song's not an easy song to sing, generally. Like, you've heard the song. It's got a lot of high notes in it, and here's the thing. As I've gotten older, my range has changed, and I'm pretty sure my range has changed since we wrote that song.
Mm-hmm.
But that one day, I went in to record this album. I think it was just me and JT this day. And I was struggling this day. I don't know what was going on. I could not get the notes right. I wasn't feeling it.
I think you were not warmed up from what I could tell.
Probably not, but I generally don't warm up.
See, that's a problem. If you warm up, it'll be way easier to sing that.
But, to be fair, I came in like 2 days later or something, and it was both JT and Lynn, and we knocked out The Good Life in like an hour.
Yeah.
We ended up getting it, but that song generally was the hardest part for me on the album. Just generally. Like, not even just because it was the hardest song, it was just... If we want to talk about the hardest song emotionally, like mentally trying to get through a song, it was Lifeguard. But
How so?
Lifeguard was like the hardest song emotionally for me to get through.
Warmonger may be the heaviest, but Lifeguard is emotionally the heaviest.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because it's like, so fun.
It's very groovy. It's very groovy.
It's
I had so
good.
much fun learning that. I had so much fun learning that bass part. So just hearing Sailor over here being like, "Oh my god, it was so emotionally difficult for me to get through the song." I was like, "Oh, I had so much fun doing that bass right now."
It's like it felt like guitar parts. There's
Well,
not much
it's like-
emotion into it.
Like, the song, I didn't write the song, JT wrote the song. But, like...
JT, how many writing
I
credits are you at now?
like,
How many writing credits is JT at now? 50
pretty much
square.
most things.
Yeah.
I have writing credits for a majority of Beige Couch, the entirety of Self-Titled, and a majority of Towers as well. But we're getting a lot more collaborative as we go.
Yeah, but like JT wrote Lifeguard, but when I went in to record it that day, that's how I was feeling. I was going through some stuff, and I was just like, JT, if I cry, I cry, and he was like, okay.
That was my song when I wrote it, but when you came in to record it, it was your song.
It was a rough week for me that week. I don't know. No, I do know what was going on. I was like, I have a lot of times where I have like really, really bad, rough weeks, but that one was really bad. I had a lot of things. So I was like, JT, I'm going to cry. And he was like, okay.
And you can hear that in the song if you listen to directly after the breakdown, right before the big final chorus where everything's kind of soft. You can hear the emotion in Sailor's voice. That was not faked just for the point of the song. That was very genuine. When her voice gets soft and not shaky, I don't think is the word I'm looking for, but just very, very raw and emotional.
You could definitely feel that in the song. Like, listening back now that you've told me that, it's like, it's very much a case of, okay, this is how you're perceiving the meaning of the song. And to do that and to put that emotional charge into it, it's not an easy thing to do. It's quite a personal thing. You're making yourselves vulnerable at that point, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I'm a very vulnerable person.
Just wait until we write our song.
Yeah, wait until Lynn and I write a song. Like Lynn and I have been trying to write a song for a while, and wait until that song comes out.
Oh.
Everyone will be in tears.
Oh my god.
I'll be in tears.
I'll be in tears. She'll be in tears. They'll probably be in tears.
That song is so nice. We gotta get that out there.
Right? We didn't even start it. What do you mean? Well, we started a song,
Wait.
but that's
Oh,
not the
that
song.
one. That one brought me to tears for different reasons.
Should we tell them?
You're leaking stuff already. We don't even go on to
hated
the
that
end of the
song. No, I
interview.
hate that song. I don't ever want it released. I'm sorry, I hate that song, and I still hate it. I'll probably come around, but I hate it right now.
When I come around.
Should we tell the story of what happened like
No.
26 hours?
No.
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 Never mind. We'll keep it a secret forever.
Yeah.
I'll probably, knowing JT, he'll probably tell me in about 5 months.
That's true.
I'll probably end up telling somebody. I probably already told somebody that
I've only told one person.
Oh.
But it doesn't matter
Oh my god.
Kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Well, so obviously Lifeguard was the most difficult track for you to sing, basically, and that raw emotion was definitely it's not just present throughout Lifeguard, it's definitely present throughout each song on the record. Are You Sure is probably like one of my favorites as well, I would say, but I think Lifeguard, I think that's why most people love that song specifically a lot more, because you guys have put so much emotion into it, I think, and that's why people can like either relate to it in its meaning or, you know, in its words. So, moving on, how did you guys find the direction of what you wanted Towers to sound like? Was it always going to be this heavy of a record, or were there other versions of Towers that you had in the backbones of your mind when it came to making Towers?
It was very organic. I just kind of wrote whatever I wanted to write, and that ended up being Towers. We had a meeting before we started writing, and we were like, okay, we want to do Breaking Benjamin style with some more layered vocals and lots of this style guitar and whatever else, and we really didn't stick to that whatsoever. I just kind of wrote whatever I wanted to write, and that ended up being Towers. Although I will say, Untruth and The Good Life were both written like pre-self-titled. I've been like between Beige Couch and self-titled was when I wrote the instrumentals for Untruth and the original instrumentals for The Good Life.
Shit.
The Good Life was like completely reworked we really only kept the chord progression.
Mhm.
But Untruth was in its early stages before self-titled.
Still
It was
very-
pretty similar to how it is today.
Yeah, there's parts of The Good Life that did not change at all. There's parts of it that changed a lot.
Yeah.
I was kind of answer a little differently about like the style situation. Was as the album went on, because in the beginning we really only had Are You Sure and The Good Life were like set as, but as time went on, it just got heavier and heavier and heavier, and that's where we got to Warmonger.
Yeah.
And then there's another song that we wrote that we may or may not come back to. That's like was almost on the album. That was like even heavier than Warmonger.
We really wanted it to be on the album.
I wanted it to be on the album so bad. It just didn't fit.
Yeah, it just couldn't for numerous reasons, but like
We might
maybe
come back
one
to
day,
it.
maybe.
We might come back to it.
Okay.
It was a cool one.
It was cool.
So I got quite a lot of questions. I'll ask one that just came to my head actually. Alex, when it came to, obviously you're one of the main guitarists for the band now. How did the whole in your side of things? What has the reaction been like to like all the riffs and everything that you and JT and Lynn have? I'm fucking terrible. I swear to
Don't
God,
worry.
I am so
Don't
done.
worry, you're not the first and you're not the last to butcher it.
Lynn, JT, and obviously yourself, Alex. Like, what sticks out to you as what sticks out to you in the process of making towers for you personally? What sticks out like to you as one of the main guitarists?
Well, the thing is, for towers, for like a good majority of the parts, I just basically didn't write them at all, nor did I have any part in writing them. That's only just because like JT kind of like he's the one that really takes initiative with writing because like it's just kind of what he does in his free time. Whereas like what I do in my free time is like on top of like music and playing guitar and everything is also like watching TV shows and anime and playing video games and hanging out with friends, whatever. I'm not saying like you have no life outside of music. I'm just saying you definitely spend a lot more time on it than like I do.
Yeah.
So
Alex,
and because of that, that's why Towers was mostly written by him. So, but
It's probably how a lot of the albums will continue to go, just because.
probably, but
Alex has a life. I do not. I have probably started 6 or 7 songs in the past week. And I'm sitting on.
You don't give yourself a day off, buddy. You don't give yourself a day
Dude,
off.
I have
Yeah, he
a
does.
folder of like 30 songs that I'm just sitting on right now that I'm
One
waiting to go.
The one time that we wanted to hang out and celebrate, he was like, "So this song," and we were like, "No,
No,
it was a good
that-
song. Okay?
It was good.
yeah, I mean, like really, the only like kind of like it was never writing. It was more just kind of like indirect approval, I guess, because I was never like, "No, this sucks," But like like as a guitarist, I was able to be like, "Yeah, this is cool." I mean, I wrote a few unreleased parts of songs, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Not I think, like I know, like there are some unreleased songs where I did write some parts for, but that's as far as it goes for now. Like as far as like when I
You wrote Untruth, like some of most of them.
no, I only wrote the lyrics
You
for
wrote the
Untruth.
lyrics for
Yeah,
it,
no,
sorry.
the rest of it was already kind of done. So
Yeah, Alex was the lyrical mastermind for Untruth. I probably started like 5 or 6 different sets of lyrics for Untruth, and they all sucked. And then Alex was like, "Hey, I want to do this," and he did. And we all looked at the lyrics and we were like, "All right, that's it. Let's do
That's
it."
it. That's perfect.
ironically, that was my contribution as a guitarist was lyrics.
Lyrics. Smile.
Which is always welcome because I hate writing lyrics,
Me
and
too.
I'm not a good lyricist.
We're trying our best.
Okay. So, Are You Sure? It's a very poppy metal vibe. It's a very hype song.
Yes.
forgot.
Did you want to reflect that with like the music video of obviously it being a 80s horror spoof feel to it?
The music video actually has absolutely zero ties whatsoever to the song. We talked ages and ages and ages ago. We were like, I want to do a cheesy, low-budget horror film so badly, and we were like, okay, well, let's do a music video with it. And when we were talking over the Towers videos, we were like, how about for Are You Sure we do the stupid horror movie that is like supposed to be bad? And we just kind of went, okay, that's fine. It has no ties to the song whatsoever.
I guess it like generally has that sort of fun feeling.
Yeah.
That like the song does. I guess like fun. You know, like it like hype fun. I think it's
Getting eaten by
one of
zombies,
the things.
fun.
It is fun. It's
Well, I got to go to
it's a
zombie
fun video. It's a fun song. Like there's no really like poetic meaning behind it at all. But you know, it's just it's something we wanted to do.
It was a very fun music video shoot.
Yeah.
A lot more
It was
fun than
fun.
Lifeguard, only because like Lifeguard I kind of passed out after we were done shooting. Okay, I kind of.
Shooting Lifeguard was super fun, but it was so hot.
It was so
It was
hot.
really hot.
I passed out after we were done recording.
Oh no.
Elias is fantastic to work with, though. He was the director for the video, and he's just, I mean, he's an artist. The attention to detail.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Are You Sure was a lot more fun because I wasn't having heat stroke, but and also because I got to go on a zombie killing spree. That was really fun.
Wait, which one of you picked up? Wait, I'm pretty sure this was Alex. Alex, why the yoga mat? Why the yoga mat of all things?
Why not, man? Why not? Like the yoga mat. That was somebody else's idea. I don't know.
I think it was.
They're like, you're gonna pick up the yoga mat, and I was like, alright. Sounds good to me.
I went in and pinned a comment on the YouTube video. So the comment that I pinned was from Christian, and it was R.I.P. Yoga Mat Guy, frowny face.
Here's the thing: the yoga mat thing, like, practically would be so stupid, but for the sake of the music video, it was like the most memorable part of the music video was Alex with that stupid yoga mat.
Mm.
So fun to film those parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some. I still haven't. There's still fake blood in my car from that music video.
Me too.
On the
Oh
car
God.
seat. On the car seat.
Oh
has,
no.
I also still have the shirt that I wore when I got absolutely drenched in fake blood. It's sitting in my room.
I haven't washed the clothes that I wore that day.
I threw them down.
Oh no.
But
Yours
yeah.
were like torn to shreds too.
Yeah, I still have the shirt, and because I was wearing a shirt that was absolutely stained in fake blood, and I also had plenty in my hair because when I what happened was, you know, like when I stabbed down and then like, you know, I was supposed to get a bunch of fake blood on me.
Yeah.
Well, what happens with my hair is just like it falls forward whenever I even slightly move my hair. So it's like all of my hair just went forward like this, and I got a bunch of fake blood. Most of it probably got in my hair. I got a bunch on my shirt, on the shirt, but like most of it got in my hair. So that was also part of the reason. Like, that was also something else because I was supposed to like look up again after I was done like stabbing that zombie with a shovel, but I could not because my head just felt so heavy from all that fake blood in my hair. I could not like look up. I was like, oh my god, just drag me down. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
We were ready to be done by the end of the night too. It's getting late.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Fun music video.
But
That's what.
like, I think. Okay, so obviously, the two, obviously, Lifeguard and Are You Sure both have very different tonalities and very different music videos for those specific reasons. I think you did really well with Lifeguard's one because obviously the meaning behind it is quite a serious topic for a few of you. It's I feel like definitely I feel Lifeguard, it has that power to. It's definitely your strongest song yet. I'd say it's definitely one of your strongest songs yet.
I agree with that.
But yeah, that's all I want to say about it. But yeah, Warmonger, however, on the flip side of things, is your heaviest song to date, I would say,
Yeah.
alongside Untruth, because they're still quite close to one another. What inspired you to write that? What inspired you to write Warmonger? What was the idea behind it?
I was taking world history at the time, and the entire class was just like, this war happened because this corrupt politician did this, and this war happened because this corrupt politician did this. And I was like, there seems to be a common theme here now, doesn't there?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the lyrics of Warmonger, the entire thing is not so subtly laced with, like, just anti-war, which is not, I mean, it's not super divisive. Most people think war is a bad thing. I would tend to think.
I hope so.
Is that a hot take?
Yeah.
Is that a hot take?
All those
find
things,
out
all
soon.
those.
I canceled. Only got canceled for thinking war bad.
What? What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. Jack Black vibes. Anyway, but yeah, like as like obviously world history is still quite an important subject and everything, and Warmonger definitely reflects that. It's definitely an anthem for the reasons as to why we fight, but we shouldn't fight, I'd say, because it's like it's pointless. It's pointless. Like we're all trying to live until like we were 100 or 110 or whatever the fuck you want to fucking call it, whatever the average life expectancy is now. But yeah, I think Warmonger definitely does a good job of explaining how, I wouldn't say hardcore, but tough these issues can be. So I think that's also another thing that I would consider. Alright, so Solo and Lynn, JT and Alex did this last time that they were here. I completely forgot to ask this, so this is on me.
Uh-oh.
What are your God damn it. What are your top 5 bands, artists, and albums right now, or today?
Ooh.
JT
We spent so long about this last time.
JT
Yeah. And it's definitely changed since last time as well.
JT and Alex, if you guys want to, you can answer it as well. But this is more specifically for say that.
Yeah, we'll let them.
So my music taste's a little all over the place. Let's just say that.
Entirely true.
My top 5 like bands or artists. I guess at number. I'll start at number 5.
I got you thinking now.
I've never really thought about it this way. I could tell you like 5 of my favorites, but I couldn't tell you like what order I would put them in.
Okay, go ahead. That's fine.
Partially because they're so different.
Mm-hmm.
Spirit Box.
Fuck yeah.
Lana Del Rey.
You excited for Eternal Blue on Friday?
Oh my god, yes.
So we got Spirit Box. We've got Lana Del Rey. We've got Bad Flower. We've got
Selena.
I was getting there. Selena Quintanilla. And I don't really know what to say for a 5th one.
Pretty Reckless or Hailstorm?
The Pretty Reckless, probably, I would say. Yeah, Selena one's a little out there. Just a little. Yeah, I love her. I don't know how else to. I couldn't really categorize her as like in my top 5 because like her and Lana Del Rey are both completely different artists than Spirit Box, Hailstorm, and all of those. I have to think about my top 5 albums though. I'll have to get back to you on that. I want to go through my Spotify real quick.
Oh, good. Lynn, do you have your top 5 artists?
Oh.
Dun dun dun.
Again. I like a lot of different kinds of music. And I'm still pretty new to metalcore kind of music or heavy music. So I could not give you top 5 favorite bands because I don't even know if I have like. No, I probably have I've definitely listened to more than 5 bands, but I could not like off the top of my head just like list like these are my favorite.
Yeah.
I definitely like Spirit Box. I was like Spirit Box.
Yeah.
It's like it's a unanimous thing. Like we all love Spirit Box.
Yeah. We are stands on the podcast, alright? In the Spirit Box, if you are watching, you should get these guys on tour and you should appear on the show. I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
Just saying.
Yes.
Eternal Blue is gonna be nuts.
I'm
So
so
excited.
excited for that.
Friday.
Fridays.
I'm so excited.
It's
I'm actually
Friday.
so excited.
But yeah, Spirit Box for sure. Breaking Benny. Breaking Benjamin.
We just say that like on Instagram.
Breaking
We
Betty.
say Breaking Benny so often that we don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Breaking Benjamin.
Yeah.
Breaking Benjamin. No, I love Breaking Benjamin. This isn't this. That sounds so derogatory. Okay. Breaking Benjamin. There we go. Mostly just because like it was the first band JT showed me, so it's kind of like a special place in my heart. And I like Nothing More.
They're pretty awesome.
Nothing More is a solid choice. I've not heard their stuff in a while, but that's actually a pretty solid choice.
I've been getting into Not Loose recently.
Yes.
Because they got me addicted to Counting Worms. So I started listening to Laugh Tracks.
is a great album.
I started listening to the
I
album.
was actually thinking about putting that in my
Yeah.
top albums.
Yeah. I've listened to it.
In there.
I listen to it at least 2-3 times a week. Just pretty good album. And then I'm trying to think of another band. Forget the bands.
But go.
An artist that I really like is Phineas.
Mhm.
I just listen to a lot of his music, and it kind of influences my writing style too. His music's different compared to the rest of, what I listen. But yeah, it's good stuff. Good soup. I also like Billie Eilish's new album, Happier Than Ever.
Lynn and I listened to that album together. I have my top 5 albums.
Are you
Not
ready?
in any order, but they're there.
Alright.
Okay. I've got New Horizons by Flyleaf. I think is one of the best female rock albums I've ever heard.
I try.
Okay, I'm Sick by Bad Flower is one of my favorite albums. Laugh Tracks by Knocked Loose.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get a little crazy here. We've got Ultraviolence by Lana Del Rey. And I have one that you guys probably haven't heard because it's not like the artist isn't obscure, but the album's a little obscure. 22 A Million by Bon Iver
Yeah.
is one of the most amazing albums I've ever heard. And it's barely music. A lot of the album is just sound.
I actually have an album like that I really like. But yeah, I
And
get that.
I just think that he's brilliant for putting this album together. I can't explain it. But I've been listening to that I come back to that album like every couple of months or so since 2018. I heard one song off of it and I was like, this is cool. And just it's the only album that I genuinely just go back to because I can't listen to it I can't put tracks from it into a playlist because it's not really music, quote unquote. So it doesn't really fit anywhere. So you have to listen to the album within itself. It's so good. It's so cool.
Okay.
So if anyone knows that album, be my best friend because I have yet to find someone that knows that album.
Fair enough.
Okay, for me, let's see. I'm already gonna go ahead and just say Eternal Blue.
I think that's
There's always
guaranteed
not.
at this
There's a
point.
chance that Eternal Blue will be on that list.
Oh no, I already know it's gonna be on that list. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just put it right there,
Yeah.
But yeah, just Spirit Box songs. They're just it's so fun to blast in the car. It's 7 in the morning and I'm driving to school, but I'm blasting Spirit Box. It's loud. It gets me up in the morning. It's great. So I already know I'm gonna like Eternal Blue.
Yeah.
I like Happier Than Ever. I like Blood Harmony by Phineas. That one was a good one. I mean, what got me into his music. So, Laugh Tracks by Knocked Loose.
Yeah.
Oh, there's this band, I don't know if you guys know them, called Forever You Roam. They have this Towers album. It's pretty cool.
Who are these people?
No, I'm kidding.
I don't know these people.
Sometimes they
They're not
wander.
right in front of me
Don't
or
tell me
anything.
No, I'm kidding. I'll get back to you on the 5th album. Just
That's you. I'll still.
You guys ever? I think I actually have a new favorite album since we've last talked. It's called Skyscrapers by Sometimes They Wonder. I don't know if you've heard of it, but
No, I probably haven't.
That's terrible. That was awful. That was the
That was
worst
the
thing.
worst
That was
joke
the
I've
worst
ever
thing in the
heard in
world.
my entire life.
Oh,
Oh my god.
wait, what was the joke? I just completely
Oh
searching for it.
my. JT, go to the naughty corner now.
Alright. Okay, I have my
How
fifth
do you
album.
come back?
No.
I have my fifth album. It's Feel Something by
Oh, it's so good. That
GT.
is actually the
I
greatest
find
song.
myself
Feels,
coming back to that
sorry,
album.
what was that? Feels
Yeah,
something.
JT showed me that album when I really needed it.
That is actually like the best album of all time. I stand by that.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's
Yeah,
fair.
like GT, like one time I was talking to JT and I was like, whatever, I was complaining about something. No, I was being sad about something. Not complaining, though I do complain a lot. But he was just like, oh, there's this album, you know, and there's this song from this band called Movements, listen to it. And I listened to it and then I bawled my eyes out. I was like, oh, it's so good. Well, I was crying.
Movements has that effect on people.
Yeah.
Really moves you.
JT, stop.
Is that even
Normal.
a joke? That was like
No, that was genuinely like I wasn't even trying to make a point.
Okay, I was gonna say that's like a fourth of a joke.
I've
But
heard
every time,
music, I'm so used to puns that I just think that everything's a pun at this point.
Me too.
every time JT makes a pun, it's more of a punishment.
It really is.
Punishment.
Oh.
I would high five you, but you're crossing the Atlantic in a different state.
Goodness gracious.
How do you get multiple apart from one members of a group hate me at once?
Quit at the same time.
I hope you know I'm looking at you very judgmentally right now.
Oh, I can tell.
Okay. So I honestly, you know, what's actually funny is the fact that I did the top 5 like back when we started this podcast, and it's definitely changed since then. And I could not tell you what my top 5 is for the life of me because of the fact it constantly changes.
I couldn't tell you my top 5 songs just because they change every month.
I could tell you my number 1 song, but then the rest of it just...
Go for it.
Oh, what they'll say about this... what they'll say about us by Phineas is that one song that came out... It came out a year ago. A little over a year ago. And it's the one song that I've just, like, no matter what, like, new songs come out, I still always have that song on repeat.
Yeah.
So, like, that's kind of how I know it's my favorite song of all time.
Yeah. I have a song like that. I'm just having a hard time remembering what it is all of a sudden. But I know there is a song that I always go back to.
Yeah. It's been my most played song, like... I think I still have the screenshot of, like, you listen to the song for blank minutes. I remember, it was like... let me see if I can find it.
Great.
Give me a sec. Just, like, keep talking. I'll find it eventually.
All good.
I think it was, like, back in December.
Mine is definitely, I think mine's definitely Brooklyn Baby by Lana Del Rey is a song that I constantly go back to.
There we go. Found it. What They'll Say About Us, 1,585 streams by the end of 2020, and that song came out in September-ish of 2020.
Lit!
So, September, October, November,
So you
December.
guys-
In 4 months, I played the song 1,585 times.
4 months?
Lynn, are you okay?
I'm not kidding
Lynn?
when I say I love this
Are
song.
you okay?
And that was just in 2020.
Lynn,
That's like, that's
what is that?
bad.
What is that? Let's see.
Song's about, like, how long's the song?
Many
about?
times.
Many times a day.
That's approximately 15 times a day.
Yeah, sounds right.
Oh my god!
Oh
I'm
my
not kidding
lord.
when I say I like this song.
That is on
That's pretty
average
good.
approximately 15 times a day.
On average.
Okay.
And that was last year. I wonder what I wonder how it looked like this
Oh my
year.
Is it I bet you guys it's going to be near double, if not triple, or 10 times that.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's so bad.
So
Yeah, it
a
is.
day?
Well, I don't know about yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. Your favorite song of theirs was What They'll Say About Us, and you spent 7,738 minutes listening to their music.
That's so funny.
my
Oh.
god.
I was in the 0.005%, like the top of their listeners this
my
year.
god!
You're kidding.
It's a real screen.
That is straight up impressive. I'm not even gonna lie.
I'm telling
that is
you.
actually impressive.
I'm telling you, it's my favorite. Like, it's my favorite song.
That's fair, honestly. Like, for me, like, as of right now, I've got Buzzkill by Motherfucker stuck in my head.
That is such a good song.
Even the remix is pretty good, but I think the original song just does it justice. And I think her as an artist is definitely one that I would love to, like, understand why she makes the music that she does. Forever 15 as well. Even understanding the meaning. If you do, I think JT, you'll know the meaning of that. Like, as well as, like, it's quite a deep song. It's not once you understand it, it's not exactly a nice song, but it's the meaning behind it is so powerful, and it's quite a hard listen once you understand it, I'd say. Oh.
I think she's told the story of it before on her TikTok, and it's all of her stuff is like that, but that song in particular is just very, like, she's an artist. She's really great.
So with your top 5 bands now and everything out in the open, who would you like to collab with?
Spirit Box! Or We Came as Romans, but they're ghosting us right now.
I love We Came as Romans. I would cry if we got to collab with them.
We Came as Romans has ghosted me, and I'm upset about it.
I think I saw the TikTok earlier on. I was like,
I made a TikTok and I tagged them in it. They were the first people to like it. And then nothing. I was like,
wait, they liked it?
yeah, they were the first people to see it.
And they've responded to a couple of our comments too, so they generally know we exist, but like,
they don't like us apparently.
well, we're a small band.
They didn't like
Towers. We're a small band.
They said, Towers? Nah. Skyscraper.
They're so good though. Have you heard their new stuff?
Yeah.
It's pretty
It's
beautiful.
so good. The song with Caleb Shomo.
Dark Bloom. Yeah.
They played it live at Blue Ridge.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I cannot believe I had to miss that.
It's okay. You didn't miss much.
Really, any collab would just be amazing. Like, especially with just any like relatively bigger band than us. Like, it would be just a great opportunity.
Spirit Box knows we exist now.
Yeah, we talked to Mike.
We talked to Mike,
So
which was kind of weird.
Yeah, we met Mike.
Yeah.
Or you
Nice.
guys met Mike. I wandered off and did something else.
Yeah, 'cause you're lame.
I don't remember what I was doing. I went off to do something. Something important.
Probably went back to
I want to work with Post Malone.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be crazy.
That would be
Yeah.
an interesting collab, especially considering
I
the
would
two stuff are
actually
are like on the
Post Malone.
opposite
Post
sides.
Malone has a good voice for this genre.
Oh,
though.
he's amazing,
Fuck Post
and
Malone.
he's a pretty decent guitarist too.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for Post Malone. I don't normally listen to that like area of music. I will say there have been many nights where I have binged Post Malone's music. Like it's really good.
Yeah, he is obviously in the popular sense of music right now, but
Oh yeah.
his music, I don't think people give him enough credit lyrically on how powerful some of his stuff is.
Yeah.
Stay is one of the most beautiful songs.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. It's fun to play.
Mhm.
Let's say.
We've covered that song.
We should do it again.
Yeah, do it again and record it.
I mean,
We do need content.
Live acoustic, just saying. But
yeah.
So obviously we've talked about top 5 bands. We talked about a few songs on the album. We'll keep that going now with 2 more questions on the album. Then we got like 3 more after that. Then we're done. Untruth to me gives me a feeling of running free from a truth that we don't want to accept when we're told it. I would argue that this is very bass heavy. How did you incorporate the meaning of the song to better fit the lyrics, and how did choosing how high or low your vocal range went, Sailor, to better fit that feeling? I know that's a very complicated question, but it makes sense. I hope.
I don't choose anything. JT chooses for me. And I say yes or no.
Yeah, when
Yay.
she starts writing, she gets to choose that.
I didn't go to high school, so I had no writing skills. So
Oh my lord.
What, do you think we get that from high school? No. You think I paid attention in English class? Jeez.
English class.
Mr. Rhodes is quaking right now watching this.
That is true. No offense to you, Rhodes. You're still great, but
Mr. Rhodes.
Next question.
I guess like to answer that question, I didn't make any really choice. It was just kind of he would write a melody, I would test it out. If it didn't feel comfortable, we would change it.
Mhm.
Most of the time, it was fine.
We did change Untruth quite a bit though.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We changed the JT and I remember we changed the bass part. Like spontaneously, I came to a recording session.
Vocals wise, once we started recording.
No, because we rewrote the whole second half of the chorus on the spot. And I see you there, and there's no place for you. You and I wrote that on the spot.
We did.
Yes, we did.
Amazing.
That song had a lot of writing on the spot. Lynn wrote in the verses. It's really hard to hear because it's mixed pretty quietly. But if you listen real close to the bass in the verses, she does this really cool like. She like tapped. She did that whole thing on the spot.
That's
Oh, here's
cool.
like JT.
Not knowing what's going on.
JT wrote no, because I remember I came to a recording session and I remember Untruth gave me such a hard time. I remember like I actually the first time I came to record it, like I had to go back home and like go through it again because it was actually like that hard. And I remember I was like, oh my god, I'm not good enough for this. And then I came back and JT was like, hey, let's rewrite that first verse because it was so confusing. I don't know about
Yeah, the original first verse was really weird. It had a panic chord on the bass. It's like bow 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 bow.
I don't know why he did that to me. I don't know why he did this. Whatever. So yeah, he was just like, hey, you know what? Let's rewrite it. Let's write a tapping part because I'd recently learned the barefoot tapping, and he was like, the second I learned it, he was like, let's take it, let's run with it. Like you know, he was immediately like tapping stuff, bass tapping stuff. He was also like, you were also like, I wrote a whole new song and it has bass tapping in it just for you.
Yeah, I wrote several
Yay.
songs that are centered around
Like the
tapping
second I learned it, he just took it and he ran with it.
JT's
It's
good
really
at that.
unique, and there's not a lot of bassists that like do it, which is weird to me because it's such a cool technique.
It is cool.
It's because why would you tap when you could slap it?
That is true. I still need to
do.
learn how to slap.
Slapping.
Oh,
Slap
that sounds so wrong in so many different ways. Holy shit. I know. JT, come on. JT, come on. It's fine. It's fine. What happened when you can slap it? I'm gonna quote that on you. I'm gonna quote that. I have to quote that now. No, anyway.
Oh,
But yeah, we rewrote the Untruth verses, and that went fine. It went well. I recorded it. You know, I still remember being very upset with myself after that first recording session because I was like, oh my god, I'm awful, and then JT had to be like, no, you're not awful. Not in that voice. Not in that
that's how I
voice.
said it too.
JT gives pep talks to everybody except for me. I swear to God.
Seriously? Like he gave me so many pep
You
talks
have,
during the
you
album.
have enough of an ego on your own. I don't need.
I don't need pep talks.
Alex doesn't need pep talks.
So
Not because he has an ego. He's just generally amazing.
Well, I have an ego too, but
You say I have the ego. Who am I sitting next to? Alex is the biggest
The
ego.
Alex
Mm.
Yeah, JT gave me so many pep talks during that album. Let's Do Crime. I remember when we recorded Let's Do Crime because you can hear it in that breakdown, right?
Yeah.
That was so hard. And I still don't know to this day why JT did that to me. But
He likes to talk,
here's the thing.
he likes to talk to
Actually-
people. That's it.
Actually, here's the
Yeah,
funny thing.
totally.
That breakdown was not hard. JT, like, I remember it was before we recorded it. Like, I came to him and was like, hey, I'm having a little difficulty with this breakdown. He solved the issue I had with the breakdown in 5 seconds. So it wasn't even the breakdown that was giving me a tough time.
Yeah.
It was the chorus. It was the chorus. I remember I could not learn it. I was legitimately struggling. And I came in to record Let's Do Crime. I'm like, hey, I can record the song except for the choruses. I'll just come in next time and do it. And JT was literally like, no, we're going to record it here and now. You absolutely can do it. He gave me a whole pep talk. And then he let me sit in the studio and just like, and then I had the chorus recorded like within an hour or two. So it all worked out. And then we were, and then we finished recording completely too, which was insane. Whack. But yeah, that's what a pep talk can do.
Pep talks. Oh my lord. Okay, so, and then finally, I have a question about The Good Life. I'd argue it's one of the best on the album. It's very different to the other tracks, I think. When writing this, obviously, I've talked about perceiving the whole album on its own as like a whole thing. The Good Life, as it stands, it's very different to its other familiars. So, what inspired you to write that? What did you want it to be? Is there anything else that you had a vision for the Good Life, or was it as it came out?
It was very different originally when I first wrote it. Originally it was called Sherry, and I at the time I had just gotten into Blink-182. Like, this is Beige Couch. Sherry was part of the Beige Couch writing sessions.
Yeah.
So I mean, The Good Life is by far the oldest song on Towers, because we wrote it around the time that we wrote Nerve and Insanity and all the other stuff from Beige Couch. That was really nasty.
Are you alright?
So,
okay, hold on, JT. Are you guys alright? You okay? You look like you're dying of laughter of something. I can't, and it's bothering me so much.
Wait.
This woman's not okay. Like, physically.
So we wrote
You're a couple
Sherry,
inches there.
and we were gonna. It was gonna go. It was
Whistle at us like dogs. Excuse me.
I'm taking it upon myself to take a bathroom break because of that right there.
So
Alright,
Sherry was originally going to go on Beige Couch, and I had talked with my guitar teacher at the time, who was like my mentor, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, for your first record, like, do an EP, don't do an album." So we cut Sherry. Then we were going to do self-titled. We had talked briefly about adding Sherry, like way early on, and we were like, "Nah, it sucks. It's so old. It's not even finished." And then afterwards, I was like messing around with some chords, particularly the chords from Colorblind by Movements, because that song is a big influence on me.
Yeah.
And I really love the chord work in that song, and I was just messing around with some of those shapes. And I was like, this might actually fit in Sherry, I think. So I started messing around with it, just trying to make some tweaks, and then I ended up like doing an entire overhaul of the song. And those, you can really hear those chords, especially in the breakdown. Those chords are like directly from Colorblind by Movements. So you can really hear where the song started out in its like pop punk garage rock roots. And then as we rewrote it for Towers, suddenly it's more of a, like, it has that metalcore style breakdown, but especially in the choruses and the verse, it's still very pop punk.
Yeah.
And the song itself just topically is about general depression, about nothing, like, living with depression is not necessarily everything feeling awful all the time. It can be waking up in the morning and just not feeling motivated to get up.
Yeah.
Everything in life can be going perfectly and things just feel off. So that's kind of like topically where the song comes in.
Okay.
I will say, Good Life. It's definitely one of my favorite songs.
Me too.
It's a good song. That's one of my favorites as well.
It's been around for a while, and the whole time I really liked it. When JT brought the overhaul, I was like, dude.
Yeah, when I first wrote the whole overhaul of it, it was a very weird thing for me because we had just come off of self-titled, and I did this overhaul of Sherry and renamed it The Good Life. And it was just a very unique style and something that I had never really messed with before, especially that breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
and because that was really my first attempt at doing like a really really staccato rhythmic breakdown, and it turned out really really amazing. So I ended up listening to that song just for my own enjoyment for a while.
I think that was one of the first times where I actually, like, when you brought that song, it kind of gave me a really clear vision of where I thought the band could be going, I think. Because it had those heavy elements that we wanted, but it was still, like, I had never heard anything like it before. And maybe that's just because I don't like listen to enough music. Like, I'm not as into pop punk, say, you know, you always relate to, like, a pop punk song. But even so, like, when I first heard that, I was like, this is where I want to be going. This exact direction, you know?
Absolutely.
So that was, like, the first time that happened.
Okay.
I'm actually relatively new to metalcore. I used to be the biggest pop punk head out there. Like for my formative years in middle school and even like freshman and sophomore year, I had touched on metalcore a little bit. It wasn't until sophomore junior year that I really got into metalcore. But like pop punk was, it used to be. I could still probably name you every pop punk song ever. Like I had a playlist of 700, 800 pop punk songs.
On Apple
And
Music, I
like
assume?
you can still hear that in my writing. A lot of my new stuff is still very pop punk.
Yeah.
It's just The Good Life in particular is like actually a pop punk song. Like if The Good Life was on the newest Neck Deep record, it would not sound out of place at all.
Yeah. I can see that. It's The Good Life is definitely unique in that sense because, as you said, it's about dealing with depression and some days not even wanting to get out of bed or not wanting to do the usual things that you would do in your daily life. And I feel like that's something. No matter even if you're not the best, even if you, I feel like that is something that we all feel at least one point in our lives where everything just feels like too much or it feels overwhelming. And The Good Life, now that you've explained that to me, I would argue it's probably a really good representation of what it means to, you know, feel that way. And you know, a lot of towers, I think, from our discussion today would be what is your biggest takeaway? Like what did you want your fans to take away from this record? Aside from, oh, this is our new sound, this is us now. What was the biggest takeaway that you wanted?
I think Towers to me is it's a comfort record because there are songs like The Good Life and Lifeguard that are very real and very emotional, but they don't get too far into they don't let you get too far into the funk of it. They have those upbeat sounds, and then there's songs like The Good Life, or not The Good Life. I just said The Good Life.
Yeah.
There's songs like Barefoot and Are You Sure that are much more upbeat, and Barefoot especially is just a very comforting song.
Yes.
The whole point of that song was to be a comforting song. So I think I really want Towers to be a comfort record and something that people can really connect to and feel very, very one with.
I won't lie. When I first heard Barefoot, you know, when Towers came out, I cried.
Barefoot, it's
Like it was like
it's a lot.
Good.
Yeah.
and it also didn't help that. Yeah.
It's emotionally heavy in the complete opposite way that Lifeguard and The Good Life are, because Barefoot is, instead of focusing on what the actual problem is, Barefoot is the one song that's like, whatever you're feeling, that's okay. Come give me a big hug. Barefoot is the big hug at the end of the record that's like, you just felt all these emotions. Come here. We
Have a
love you.
hug. Don't be
Yeah.
sad. It's okay. It's like a little.
So it literally
It's okay.
closes off the entire album with "I'm with you till the end." That is the last line of the whole album, and that was very much intentional.
Yeah, it's like it. Speaking of Barefoot, it is very much, as you said, it's like an end to Towers, and it's a new beginning for you guys. Towers, as you said, is a comfort record, but it's also establishing new era FWR, because you guys are putting out now a record which, well, you've already put out a record, should I say, where this is basically for everyone at the most vulnerable state.
Until the next record.
Until the next record, and you write something and it makes me cry. I guarantee you guys will end up making something that makes me cry.
The song's already written, by the way. The song's already written.
I swear to
Not
God.
that hard. No, but Michaela, I'm so sorry. Sailor and I are. Oh, GT's.
Aha.
Just before.
You should charge your phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I was saying, Sailor and I I think we mentioned this. I feel like we did. I just forgot. But we're working on this one song that's very
personal.
Very, very, very personal. And
Lynn and I, around the same time, kind of went through a very similar situation, and like we kind of, that's kind of how we bonded, was over these.
I'm so sorry. That's so funny to me. Just like we really did bond over that.
Like we both really bonded over these these situations, and it was pretty clear pretty quickly that we both wanted to write something together about it.
Yeah, I think, okay, the best way to describe it is just something made us sad, we're going to write a song about it because that's what musicians do.
Yeah.
Look forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be...
I've actually written 2 songs now about it. So be ready to have 2 songs to make you cry.
I swear, if either one of you makes me cry, I will. I don't know what I would. If I can come up with merch for the podcast, I will send you a free T-shirt. Just be like, you made me fucking cry. Here's a fucking free T-shirt.
There was a song that we had started writing that was super close to being on Towers.
I'm so glad it's not. I'm so sorry. I know.
It was kind of like, the whole thing with this specific song was that it was a very last minute writing session because we felt like there was a situation that had come up, and we thought we'd have to add another song to the album.
Thankfully we didn't.
But like that song would have, like, it told a similar story. It was like my specific like side of what happened to me, and like I think that song, if it was on the album, would have been the song that would have made people fucking bawl their eyes out.
Yeah.
We may come back to that song. It's not. It seems like JT wants to now. He definitely didn't want to back then. that was a hard one to write for multiple reasons, but like even emotionally, it was like that song would have been interesting.
The thing with me is when I write, I don't write anything like, because I don't really write stuff that you would normally hear on Towers. Like I would never be able to come up with stuff like Good Life, Lifeguard, like stuff like that. That's more up to JT to write because he knows more about like, you know, guitar riffs or bass riffs or drum stuff or whatever. Like he can write that stuff. So I tend to write softer things, which is a little, I don't know how to feel about that because I know that a lot of people want heavy stuff, and I'm over here writing like soft little things on a little piano in my living room.
I think
we need that dichotomy in our music.
But the type of stuff I write is majorly sad, soft, in comparison to stuff like Warmonger that JT's writing. So I'm your go-to person to make you cry.
Write a song with me. We'll see how it goes. I just want to quickly chime in before we continue. Rob Forte from the wonderful Discord that we are all a part of. He said, I put on my tinfoil hat one day, and whilst re-listening to the record, came up with a story from beginning to end, following a person's journey through life.
Oh, we love Rob.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rob. We love you, dude.
Shout out to Rob. That's the homie right there.
Absolutely. Okay. So moving past Towers now. Blue Ridge. You guys played your first proper festival.
Yeah, we played that.
We did do that.
I I will have to run soon, though. I did not
Don't
realize
worry.
this was going to be an hour and a half long affair.
Don't worry. Don't worry. We are nearly done. We have 2 more questions off this, and they are really short ones.
Alright, cool.
How was Blue Ridge? How did you guys find it?
Phenomenal.
Incredible.
I cried for a good bit after.
I have not cried yet, but like I've been wanting to cry. I just like
I cried a lot at Blue Ridge, but for various other reasons.
I had
Your eye.
We met Mike.
We did.
we met Mike. Yeah, we did. No,
We might.
I just
Steve-O was there for a solid 2 songs at the whole festival.
yeah. For me, anyways, just like being at Blue, like I didn't cry, but I definitely was like. I've had so many moments when I just wanted to cry. There's been so many different, like it's been absolutely crazy, and just I don't know, just thinking about how my life is now compared to a year ago.
It's a lot of change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
No.
change.
It's just crazy to me. Just like I'm here because JT found my music account on his Explore page. That's the only reason I'm here.
It's
Mhm.
He basically
destiny.
bullied you into playing bass with us too.
He bullied me into playing bass. Like,
I did that, yeah.
I mean,
did that.
didn't you trick Sailor into joining as well at one point?
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, so I don't know. It's just just thinking about Blue Ridge. It's just like, damn, I really got here,
Mhm.
and it's just crazy. Think about how different things are and just how much things can change
Yeah.
in such a short amount of time.
I think on like the less personal, like an emotional side of things for Blue Ridge, it was just like insane having that experience.
Oh, it was a blast. Like,
Mhm.
okay,
Like-
emotional crap aside, it was a blast. Just like being on that stage, just like doing I literally felt so alive on that stage because we were just like we were doing everything. Like we just got to do our
Like-
thing, and it was so exciting. And we had this whole audience, we had this whole crowd. We were just there.
We
They were
had a
standing there. They
good-
were watching us. They wanted to watch us. What?
We had a good crowd of probably, I want to say 300 people
Probably.
That's
yeah.
watching.
That's insane.
Some of which did know us, most of which did not. This was the first time that we had ever experienced playing a show where people were singing our songs, people who we didn't know.
Mhm.
And like there were people up like who like were at our barrier because they wanted to see us and were singing our songs from top to bottom, and
Oh my God,
that was the
absolutely
most bizarre
crazy.
thing.
Didn't we have a mini mosh pit?
We had a mini mosh pit. We did have a mosh pit at one point.
That's what blew me away because that was my one wish for the whole thing was for somebody to start a pit. And when I saw a pit, like I had the biggest, stupidest grin on my face.
Dude, almost every
I
picture.
did the whole show, but that was when I was like, okay, I can die now. So many Mosh Story
Dude.
songs. That's fantastic.
Just like watching these, like I was watching the videos because I remember when we were on stage, I could barely
I
see
don't
the crowd.
remember there being that many people.
Me
there.
either,
It
and just
wasn't
like-
until later when I looked back at videos and I saw how many people were standing there. It was like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, like that happened, you know. Like when we were on stage, it just felt like I don't know. Like I didn't see the audience. I was just mostly just like making sure like my glasses didn't fly off my face. I don't know why I performed with my glasses on. That was another thing that I was super mad about. Because when we got out and we started playing Are You Sure? And I started jumping around, I was like, oh my god, I'm wearing my glasses. What am I doing? I wanted to take them off before we started performing, but I didn't. I was like, what? What am I doing?
it's okay.
I managed to pull up the entire performance with my glasses on. Somehow, some way, they didn't fly off my face. So there's that.
That's a success.
What about you, JT? What you thinking?
It was just really cool.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I'm like,
I don't think it's probably sunk in yet for JT. I feel like I think it's not probably sunk in for you. But I know when stuff is sunk in for you because like you're a bit more like, holy shit. But now it's like,
Yeah.
god
I
damn, I
think-
played Blue Ridge.
I think one of the craziest things for me being backstage, and I'm sure this applies to Alex specifically too, is like, because neither Lynn or JT had ever been to a festival before.
Mhm.
But Alex and I have been to a few. It was interesting, like, being backstage and, like, just seeing these bands just hanging around.
Oh yeah.
Like, doing people things, like eating lunch, catching up with each other. Because a lot of these bands that knew each other hadn't seen each other in almost 2 years.
Mhm.
And it was just like weird being back there because it almost felt wrong for us to be backstage, but it was like, no, we're allowed to be here. We deserve to be here.
That's the thing, is that we were kind of like with with the same privileges of being able to go, wherever everyone else is supposed to go. It's like we are in like the festival's eyes equal to these huge bands that we've looked up to for years, and like we're all just sharing the same space, and it really changed my perspective on like who they were as like people, because obviously you're gonna idolize the people you look up to. That's just natural. But then like when I was just kind of walking around, sometimes you see like the occasional like, oh, they're from there, the few times I got to like even talk with some people, I was just like, wow, they're just like dudes.
Yeah.
Like, they're not like super great, amazing guitarists. Oh my god, I'm gonna worship them. Like when I was talking to them, I'm just like, it's just a guy. Wow.
I think one of the most bizarre things that I personally experienced was people coming up and treating us like we're them.
That was weird. I had like at least like I had like 5 or 10 people come up to me the whole day, be like, "Can I get a picture? You guys said it was awesome," and I was like, "What?"
The first person. I can't talk. Sorry. The first person that came up to us and asked for a picture, I remember just like staring at him and thinking like, "What did you say?" Like I was so confused. It's like, "Hey, can I get a picture with you guys?" And I remember I was just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a guy like. This was like, I was off in the festival, and this was right before you and I met back up.
Yeah.
I was on the phone trying to find my other friends that were there, and this guy ran up to me, like beelined my direction to come ask me for a picture. And it was like, it didn't really sink in until later, until I was like, that guy like went out of his way to like walk over to me and be like, "Can I get a picture?" And I was like, "What? Me?"
Yeah.
there was this thing too. JT, like I left early.
Oh, I do have to go soon, so let's wrap it up.
Oh well, what was it? JT, I left early on Thursday because my mom was like, "Let's go home." So went home, and I called JT. I don't remember what it was about. Oh, it was about the whatever, and I don't even remember. And he told me, hey, there was this couple that was there that wanted you to sign their CD. And
I was there.
Oh, hence the TikTok.
No, that didn't blow up, so I'm very sad about that. But I just remember sitting there and I was in so much, I don't know, shock, I guess. Like I wanted to cry because I was like, somebody actually cared that much about me. I was so confused.
Yeah.
Like it just didn't make any sense. What?
Okay, so and the last 2 questions, and JT, if you remember this. And Alex, if you remember these questions, I'll be amazed. You'll know where I'm going with this one. Lynn and Sailor, does pineapple belong on pizza?
No.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, no.
Lynn,
Just say yes.
Say yes.
Say yes.
Say yes. Say yes.
Yeah.
Say yes.
Talk about
Just
peer
for-
pressure.
Sure, whatever.
And what fruit would you?
Well, okay. Here's the thing.
And what fruit would you all be, and why?
What fruit would I be and why?
Yes.
Strawberries, because they're my favorite.
A grape.
Ironically, Baz from Bloodstained Reputation actually said that they would be a grape as well.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you're not the only one.
Grape gang.
I will.
Strawberry.
I'll clip this and I'll send that to her. Just like, hey, you're not the only one. But anyway, Diddy, I know you got your personal time, so we'll end it off here. Oh yeah, Rob's like, how long was the set at Blue Ridge? Wasn't usually sets like last like 30 to 40 minutes, right? Usually.
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay, fair enough. And he's like pineapple and pizza in all caps with an exclamation mark and question mark and exclamation mark. So we can probably guess what his feelings are on that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. To shout out,
Great talking with you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to JT, to Lynn, to Sailor, and to Alex. You came in at the perfect time as well, which is like awesome. So that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to drive from my college, so yeah.
Legend. All of you are
Alright.
legends. Y'all have been
Alright,
amazing.
we'll
Thank you
talk
so
to you soon.
much. And for those who are watching, feel free to go check out all the socials. I linked them down in the description. I just was the cameras are over here, not over there. And feel free to check out all the socials for the podcast as well. Mindless Music Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. But also, and the Twitter is at Podcast Milo if you guys want to tweet at us at all. Feel free to subscribe, like the video, etc. Share, whatever you want to do. And we shall talk to you all another time. Feel free to join Discord as well. That's down in the description as well. Anyway, we're going to call it there. Have a wonderful time. Everyone, please wave away the podcast because they're now going to go away. And we shall say adios. Bye.